Looking at that adolescent age, a lot of girls in particular go through a lot of changes, as well as boys, and they become that whole let me have every moment with my parents will no longer. They replace that with their friends. Do you then become an overbearing parent and demand that space? What is that balancing act that you are required to perform, and how do you find the equilibrium?
You know, Hima, it's so strange you said that, because unfortunately a lot of parents that I meet with, they are struggling with understanding adolescent development. Right, they are struggling with understanding that at that age, their peers are most important. And the parents should be there to provide the love and the support that the child needs, and not try to overtake the child's life. Because that adolescent will go through their period. There is no stopping adolescent development. So we need to understand it. But not only parents, teachers, guidance, social workers, we all need to understand adolescent development. Because we can't help people we don't understand. And that is what is going on right now.
Now, looking at protecting our children, and there was a video on Facebook with a child, and I put it on my wall, and I basically said, I hope that you didn't take the computer. My taxpayers' dollars bought you it to do that. This child cannot be older than 12 or 13, and she can give a Jamaican dancehall artist competition. I don't think she understands what the moves are. I don't think she understood what she was doing. But this child is 12 or 13, and she is there doing this on this computer. It's now been put on Facebook. And then there's the other extreme, where a mother, and it was kind of funny in the beginning. I don't know if you saw the other one, where the mother was basically, she embarrassed a child and said, now put that on Facebook. So the video has gone viral again. But I understand what that mother is also going through, because she also understands the dangers of her daughter being on Facebook. How then do you protect it?
Two things here, Hima. This child dancing like that, and there are many videos, including one of our circus stars bringing a very, very young child to dance on our stage, right? So the question here is, again, are we punishing children for adult behaviors? You see, where did this child understand this behavior? We go to parties and we see it all on our Facebook, and we see how people behave. Yet we are expecting our children to behave different. And that is the strange irony that just really grips us. You know, and the second thing, a mother is then punishing her child by putting it on Facebook.
But you know what, it's weird, because I mean, my mother did discipline like that as well. Public embarrassment was the two. But
I got it too.
It's crazy.
But let me tell you this though. A mother burned her child hand on a tower. We heard of that, because that is what the parent knew as a form of discipline. Is it then that we are going to continue doing the things that we believe that is right? Hima, the time has come for us to be educated. The time has come for us to change our approach.
Yeah, but you have parents who work 24/7. So who is going to monitor your child? And I don't agree with it, but I empathize with that mother that understands the need to protect her child from online predators, and the need to protect her daughter and that online space. And her way would be to embarrass the life out of her so she doesn't go back on Facebook ever again.
And then the child will grow up and say, well, mommy was never there, right? The child may then become depressed or seek alternative attachment, because her primary attachment is working 24 hours. And I too sympathize, but we must find a way where children have that time with their parents, because Hima, the children are needing of people, and they will find and they will seek out people.
Looking at the trauma in our society, every single day our news dominated corruption, murder, mayhem, sex. How is this impacting all of that, the behaviors of our children?
Listen, it is impacting, and we are seeing it.
Okay,
through
and then also you have
vicarious traumatization, right? It's affecting all of us, and sometimes we bury our head in the sand, or we close our window drapes because we don't want to deal with it until it really comes home. But here it is coming home, whether we want to understand that or not. It is affecting our children. The behaviors of our children are seriously dysregulated. We are seeing it in the classroom, and it's now spilling into our communities. It is now spilling into our homes, into our personal spaces.
Have we lost this battle?
I don't think that we have lost the battle, and that is why the Center for Human Development is on this drive to educate people in understanding, first of all, what is trauma and how to identify trauma.
Now, understanding and identifying trauma, we're looking at the impact on youth. Can an adult face a traumatic experience and automatically change behavior?
Of course. And that is what is the primary focus of trauma, that change in behavior. I'll give you an example. I'm treating a young lady who was involved in a robbery, right? She no longer let the sun set on her outside of her home. Her home has become a prison. Her children have become prisoners. They no longer go to play dates. They no longer go to the mall. She picks them up and drops them to school, and waits there. So it has impacted people's life, and it continues to so do. Even for us, we no longer want to do the things we would have done freely before because we are so concerned with what is happening. So it is affecting our adults, it is affecting our youth, and it is affecting how we interact with one another. And on that level, it continues to exacerbate behavior throughout our society.
Are we all a damaged society? Do you think we are?
We are damaged. We are damaged. We are damaged, and we continue to so do.
But then on the flip side, Han, if some would say my parents did it and I didn't turn out too bad, my mother would blaze my skin if I remember being 12 and 13 and sneaking out to talk to a boy, and I got serious licks outside my school. But I'm okay. How do you do that?
I like the fact that you say you're okay. The question here is our coping mechanism and our social environment. Not everyone has a positive social environment that can help them to overcome some of the traumatic incidents, because our social environment is what really helps us. Unfortunately, like some of the cases we have spoken about, we have the abuse, and then we have a poor social environment or no social environment. We don't have the uncles, the grandmothers no more, because now the grandmothers are almost as old as the mothers, who is almost as old as their children. So we no longer have that social environment, that network that can help people overcome these trauma. And unfortunately, people are now exacting that on other people. And that is what the problem is. While you and I might have gone through, yes, the blows and the licks, we have learned to cope because of that social environment. Yeah, but again, if we really look at
young children experimenting with sexual acts? And I'm talking about the fact that they had a story about some 4-month students, also primary school students, experimenting with acts of an adult nature.
Where did they learn it from? Who taught them? Why they feel the need to do that? In addition to that, I have had principals call me with young children drawing, 7 and 8 penis and speaking about serious sexual act. One is either being done to or they are seeing. And we have report of children witnessing their parents having sexual encounters, and we always think that the children are home sleeping and the home is separated by curtains or whatever. Those are some of the things that is helping our children to behave the way they behave. Who at the age of 7, 8 could speak and draw penis? And that level, it tells us that serious issues are happening in our homes.
As we wrap this interview, Hannah, what would you like Trinidad and Tobago to know about the event that you are having?
So we are having a trauma workshop, Understanding Trauma for Children and Adolescents. It's the 6th to the 8th of May from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Arthur Lukja Graduate School of Business. It is 3 intensive days. If you want to know about trauma, if you want to learn and understand how trauma exacerbates in our children and adolescents, if you want to learn about some of the secondary adversities to trauma, you need to register. You can visit us online at livelifewelltt.org. All the information is there, livelifewelltt.org, or you can call us at 224-3581, 224-3581, or 464-5810, 464-5810.
Understanding the impact of trauma and what is happening in your life. As someone had asked me about great example names, about my personal experiences, but I try to say how I learned in life. We take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to have more for you. This is the Morning Brew, and don't forget we have the 7:13 news update with Akash Samar. Stay with us.